Hello, 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 everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome back. We're going to be resuming with the newest book that we just started, and we are reading Archangelology on Archangel Uriel. And of course, this is written by Angela Grace. So we're going to be reading chapter 2 and 3 in this particular video. And chapter 2 is titled, How to Call Upon Uriel. You might be thinking that you have to be specially chosen in order to communicate with Uriel. There must be some type of message that God wants to deliver through him, some major purpose that you need to fulfill, or something of great universal importance that you were made to do. This can't be something any average Joe can do, right? If you're thinking that, you're halfway correct. Yes, there's something only you can fulfill. Yes, there's a message God wants Uriel to tell you. And yes, it's of a great universal importance. However, everyone has a duty to fulfill here on earth, and everyone has equal access to the angels for assistance to achieve their goals. All of humanity is made in the image of God, not just the prophets and saints. By completing a few simple steps, you'll be able to communicate freely with Uriel and recognize his energy in the world around you. So beginning the meditation. So we're going to go through some steps on meditating specifically to get more in touch with Uriel. Although you'll eventually get better at noticing an angel's influence, the best way to connect with them as a beginner is through deep meditation. Through some focus and intentionality, you can get to know Uriel better and hear his voice clearly. If you're new to meditation, here are some tips about entering into a meditative state. So first, find a quiet area. In our modern world, it's sometimes a bit hard to find complete silence. The space you choose for your meditation doesn't have to be perfectly quiet, but it's helpful to have an area with minimal interruptions so you won't be torn from your thoughts. If you're finding noise particularly distracting, try popping in some earbuds and playing white noise. There are tons of white noise videos available on YouTube for free, or you can search your app store for a white noise player. Next, you want to rein in your breath. The breath is the rhythm of the body, and we can use that to our advantage. One popular breathing technique recommended by scientists is the 4-7-8, in which you inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 7, and exhale for 8. So inhale for 4, hold it for 7, exhale for 8. You can always adjust the timing if that pace is difficult for you. Just try to keep your breath steady, slow, and consistent. Practice mindfulness. Some people find it helpful to integrate an amount of mindfulness into their meditations. Mindfulness is the practice of being present in your current environment and noticing the little things around you. Try naming one thing you can touch, hear, smell, see, and taste. The act of doing so will connect you with the earth, Uriel's domain. That's very interesting because I do follow somebody on YouTube. Her name is Barty, and she does a lot of yoga. And sometimes before the more slow yoga videos, she'll have us sit at first and pay attention to the noise furthest away, then the noise in our surrounding area, like in our house, in our building, then a noise in the room closest to you, and then outside if you're near somewhere outside. And it really does kind of help you focus your brain in for that time. Use visualizations. Here's a great one. I have a statue of Uriel right here. If you want to use that, you can always take a snapshot of it, or look it up, or use whatever you have at home. There's going to be some things that she's actually going to mention later on in this book that you can use as symbols. I think that's what we're going to read about a little later on. When my mind is particularly unfocused, I often use my imagination to help me enter a meditative state. Most effective visualizations are centered around the breath and will match your breathing cycle, such as imagining a feather flying up and down in time with your inhales and exhales. You can also imagine yourself climbing up and down a ladder, going up and down an elevator, or any other image that calls to you. We'll just be using it to help you relax and focus, so the image itself isn't too important at this stage. Calling out to Uriel. After you've successfully entered into a meditative state, it's time to reach out to Uriel. Don't worry, it's extremely easy. There's no right or wrong way to do it. So I'll go over a few options that are specific to Uriel that you can try. If you don't have success with one method, go ahead and try another. The only trick is to stay alert and aware as his presence approaches you. He will come. You just need to find a method that you can match your energy to. So the first method would be to shift your visualization. If you used visualization to help you relax into your meditation, it's time to change your imagery so it's more specific to Uriel. Try to imagine yourself being bathed in the red light of the earth or the golden light of wisdom. If your third eye is very sensitive, you might want to focus the color into your forehead right there. Alternatively, you can invite Uriel to touch your arms or shoulders and imagine his hands on your skin. His touch will feel warm, stable, and strong. The next method is to use a chant or mantra. In 2 Esdras, Uriel responded when his name was mentioned. You could do the same by chanting his name slowly, perhaps in time with your exhales. Pronounce each syllable slowly, such as Uriel, and the way that they spell it is Y-U-W-R in capitals, space, or a dash, E-E-A-L, Uriel. You could also turn it into a statement such as, Uriel, I need your help. Uriel, show me the truth, or Uriel, I need you. So long as the statement you choose is genuine and comes from the heart, he will respond. And the other method is to use tools. When we're struggling to receive a direct message, we can use tools such as crystals, oils, or tarot cards to help us read energy. If you choose to use crystals, try using ones that are associated with the earth, such as obsidian. You can also use hematite or tiger's eye. If you choose to use a scent or an oil, try to find sandalwood, ginger, or basil. Skip to Chapter 7 for more information on these tools. If you use tarot cards, present Uriel with an open-ended question and invite him to guide your hand as you pull a card. I don't have any tarot cards, but I do have angel cards, and they're all messages from angels, and there are 7 of the archangels sort of mixed in there. I personally don't work with tarot cards. I don't know much about them. I don't have anything against them, but in sort of connecting with the angels, I have found success in answering a question or just kind of realizing their presence in centering my mind for a moment and then using an angel card, which they're beautiful decks of cards. They have lots to choose from. Hearing Uriel's voice. In the esoteric world, we often use words like voice to represent a being's energy and intention, even without the use of vocal cords as we know them. It's very possible to hear direct words from an angel, as many prophets do, but it's important to keep ourselves susceptible to the many ways that we may pick up on an angelic energy. If you do hear specific words, most people hear a masculine voice for Uriel. This is why I've been using he, him, his pronouns to refer to him. However, several others report seeing Uriel as female or receiving more feminine tones as he communicates. Others say that they've seen him as male in most cases, but female on occasion. Keep yourself open to all of these possibilities. If you're receiving feminine energy, you're probably still talking to Uriel. He simply decided to use a female presentation for the time being. And really and truly, because angels are technically this amazing, magnificent energy, they are not really male or female. So, for example, you can say Archangel Michael or Michelle, Gabriel or Gabrielle. There's lots of different ways that they are depicted. And so they may also come to you in a way that you might be more comfortable with. They always know what you will recognize, what you will notice easier, and what is the most comfortable for you in all situations. That is why they're very aware of the way that we depict them. They know that we think that they're these big, beautiful energies or these big, beautiful beings with wings and a halo with all of these embellishments and adornments. They know that's what we think when we think of an angel. They're very aware. Other people have strong emotional reactions once they've come into contact with an angel. If you find yourself wanting to cry, that means you've succeeded. Power through it and listen closely to Uriel's message. Lastly, we often hear Uriel's truth in the form of instincts, images, and thoughts. If you find that your instincts or emotions are pulling in a certain direction as you are connected with Uriel, he's trying to tell you that that's the right way to go. Or if an idea suddenly fills you with fear, he is warning against it. Stay open-minded and listen closely. And now chapter 3, having the strength to ask. Angels are always eager and willing to help us. They're able to do endless good for us, but like parents, they want us to learn how to ask. Through the simple act of asking, we learn how to recognize our own needs, realize our strengths and weaknesses, and stay humble. Now that you've learned to recognize Uriel's presence and power, it's time to allow him to influence your life more directly and with clear intentions. As the angel of wisdom, think of him as a teacher or mentor in your life. In this chapter, we'll discuss a few daily exercises you can do to include Uriel in your schedule, some affirmations that will help you accept his energy, and a special technique called cord cutting that frees you of lingering negative connections. He will be thrilled to find that you're asking for the things you need. So, daily exercises. Being able to contact Uriel through meditation is a great way to seek his guidance. But there are many other things you can do that will allow him to influence more areas of your life. Since he specializes in the arts, sciences, and anything else that progresses humanity, many of these exercises will center around your work and career. If you feel that your life purpose lies elsewhere, such as parenthood, you can also try welcoming him into that part of your life. No obstacle is too small for Uriel. Let him in and see how much more productive you become. Invite Uriel into your work. This is the first exercise, or the first recommendation. We'll see where this goes. Because our careers are one of the main ways we influence humanity's progress, Uriel is deeply ingrained in our work. Even before we invite him, he's present in our daily routine. By openly recognizing his influence and inviting his assistance before you begin a project or assignment, try contacting Uriel and letting him know that you're listening. Either aloud or in your head, say, Uriel, I welcome your assistance in my work, or Uriel, I feel your hand influencing me. If it is a difficult project, ask him for help. Try, Uriel, help me to bring forth the greater good through my work. Spend time with the earth. Sunbathing is the perfect activity to connect to Uriel. You are laying on the earth and accepting the light. You can't just sunbathe mindlessly, however. You have to intentionally listen for Uriel if you want to hear him. Try doing meditations as you sunbathe, or your sunbathing sessions. Use those as chances to brainstorm your next projects. Cleanse yourself with red and gold energy. When you're experiencing a mental blockage, such as the infamous writer's block, let Uriel clear that away for you. Allow yourself a few moments to separate from your work and focus on Uriel's energy. Let it envelop you from head to toe. Revel in his strength and stability and stay there for as long as you need. When you're ready, return to the task at hand and see how much inspiration Uriel has given you. Now we're on to mantras and affirmations. In times of stress and anxiety, we often subject ourselves to negative self-talk. We're so weighed down by thoughts such as, I'm not good enough, that we aren't able to hear Uriel's voice at all throughout our day. Using daily mantras or affirmations is a fantastic way to separate ourselves from that self-talk and open our minds to Uriel's truth. In a sense, it helps us to trick our minds into a higher vibration through the use of positive I am statements. There are a number of ways to use affirmations effectively, so feel free to experiment and see what feels best for you. You may want to use them as a part of your usual meditation, or you may combine them with some of the other exercises mentioned, such as whenever you're spending time with the earth. To use them, just repeat the phrase in your head or out loud over and over for 30 seconds or longer. Try to sound like you mean it, even if you aren't sure the affirmation applies to you in your current state. Repeat it until you feel its intention setting in. You can create your own affirmations if you'd like to access a particular aspect of Uriel's identity, but here are a few to get you started. I am open to truth and light. I am connected to the earth and its power. I feel the earth below me, and I know I am supported. Through my work, I help humanity to progress. I have an important mission to fulfill, and I will do so perfectly. I am knowledgeable and wise. I am constantly growing and improving. I use science as a means of helping society, or I use art as a means of helping society, or anything that you're doing to help society. Work in healthcare, you're a teacher, you're a healer of some sort. Fill in the blank for yourself. I am humble and unafraid of asking questions. I can receive new knowledge with dignity. My life path is clear to me. I know precisely what needs to be done. And then we have cord cutting. Do you ever notice that your feelings of confusion and hesitation last for days, weeks, months after the emotional trigger occurred? Perhaps you find yourself obsessing over a past decision and worrying if it was correct, overthinking the meaning of someone's behavior, or any other lingering thought that causes you distress. Thankfully, through Uriel's help, you can cut yourself from those negative thoughts and be free from them forever. Cord cutting is based around the idea that we create emotional cords with the people we interact with, the things we experience, and even the thoughts and ideas that we cling to. These cords can often be very positive, but sometimes they hold us back from achieving our highest good by keeping us anchored to things that no longer serve us. Since Uriel is the ultimate truth teller, let's think about the things that keep us removed from the truth. Think about any trauma you obtained from people who have lied to you, those troubling what-if thoughts that keep you from sleeping at night, or anything else that you think Uriel could help remove from your life. In order to complete a successful cord cutting, you'll want to enter a meditative state in a quiet area of your choosing. Some people like to bathe in Epsom salt or Himalayan salt to weaken the charge of a toxic cord, but you can easily complete the cut without the extra help if you don't have either of those. Visualize the person, situation, or the thought that you want to remove yourself from, as well as a string that attaches you to it. Give yourself a few moments to ensure that the image is clear in your mind. Next, you'll want to call Uriel to give you some assistance. Simply call to him inside of your mind and listen for his strong, grounded presence. Let him know what's going on and ask for his strength to cut the cord. Try saying, Uriel, this cord no longer serves my highest purpose. Uriel, this cord holds me from the truth, or whatever you feel is applicable to your unique situation. Uriel will cut the cord using the flame sword he used to guard Eden, and you will be completely removed from the negative influence. And that comes from Genesis 3:24, where they mention Uriel used the flaming sword to guard Eden. Okay. So we'll go ahead and stop right there, and we'll read chapter 4 and 5, obviously, in the next video. That's going to be calling forth Uriel's sword, and then Uriel the role model, aligning your frequency. All right, let me just mark my page right there. And we will read those next 2 chapters in the next video. And I thank you all so much for joining me. And until I see you again, please take care of yourself as always. And please take care of those around you as always. Stay blessed, stay in gratitude, and stay safe. And I will see you all again very soon. And I love you all very, very much. Thank you so much for joining me. Take care. Bye-bye.